Well then, so we had a Dancer combo earlier on this week's Fan Fridays, but then we look at Erica's team. And I guess the word of the day is now why. Why any of that? Like, why do we have an Oddish? Why do we have an Abra? Why is this not Spinda swap when you're bringing a Spinda's only good for Spinda swap? Why is there a Tyrantrum? Alright, looks like our questions are about to be answered today. And that's what the hype is. That's what I get excited for. So let's go and see how this plays out. And then we have Volcarona, Oricorio as well. And they're going to be doing like their own Dancer shenanigans, but it's all going to be about what we can set up right here. So Oricorio actually goes for the Protect. That's pretty much what we see. Oricorio plays it safe. Volcarona gets that Quiver Dance, and then the stats are going to compound, and Oricorio's safe. So boom, shenanigans are going to happen. So now let's see. Spinda swap? Question mark? Like, what is Tyrantrum going to do? So that's going to be Oricorio copying the Quiver Dance, as we've seen many times before, for its own crazy setup. And that's going to be Tyrantrum with the Charm onto the Spinda, and it's still a contrary Spinda. So it's going to raise the attack and then go into the Trick Room. I didn't expect any of that. Why? Oh man, so Oricorio is going to avoid the Rock Slide, but that's the surprise +2 Rock Slide, enough to take out the Volcarona, and probably do substantial damage to the Oricorio. And then we're going to see Tyrantrum with the Rock Slide as well. What is this team? It just took out 2 opponents. The Trick Room Spinda and the Charm Tyrantrum just took out 2 opponents in 1 turn. And now it's Smeargle, Alakazam, and Trick Room's still up. Is the battle over? I'm scared to think that the battle's over in 3 turns. If that's what happens here. Okay, so that's gonna be Alakazam. Smeargle might try to pull out some shenanigans as well. The Trace is going to grab Contrary. Not sure what's gonna happen there. Smeargle with the Fake Out. Decides that Spinda is the ultimate threat. Decides to fake that one out. And Tyrantrum charms Spinda again? Why? And Alakazam has Hidden Power. So Hidden Power Ice onto the Tyrantrum is what that's going to be. And Tyrantrum tanks it like a boss. I guess if you don't have to worry about speed investment for the Trick Room, and it has a Citrus Berry, you can just go for a bulky Tyrantrum. You're double Rock Sliding, so high chance of flinch. Smeargle's evasion might be a little annoying to deal with, and then the damage just kind of finds its way, huh? So that's going to be Alakazam with the Protect. Does not want to deal with that anymore. Spin it with the big Brick Break. That's going to connect on Smeargle. Focus Sash on the Smeargle. Pretty easy to call right there. And then Tyrantrum with the Dragon Claw. So Dragon Claw will not be able to finish off on the Alakazam. But then Spore on the Spinda. This is the most hate I've seen a Spinda get in a long time. So Spinda's now asleep. Tyrantrum can still Rock Slide. That's going to be damage, potential flinch, a lot of other things right there. It's about to get interesting. So Smeargle with the Follow Me. I don't think that really matters too much. Now we do still have a little bit of Trick Room up. Spinda's going to be fast asleep. It's a +4 Spinda. It's 3 times its attack trying to do the damage. Rock Slide will land on the Smeargle right there, doing over half of Alakazam's health, and then also taking Smeargle down like that. So yeah, like, if the Fake Out caused the opponent to survive, it survives the Psychic off of the Alakazam as well. Twisted Dimensions return to normal, but Alakazam can only choose one, so decides to take down the Tyrantrum. If Spinda wakes up and lands a hit, that's going to be the ultimate justice right there. And what even is this team? It has Retaliate. That is maybe one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in this game. This Spinda with the Retaliate just kind of drifting across from that background after taking down the Alakazam. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not saying I'm tearing up, but I felt like, you know, one of those, like when your face just kind of gets ready for an emotional moment. I felt that right there with the Spinda. And let's go and field again. So we got some more battles. What is the Spinda? And let's go again. I don't know if I'm excited or if the emotion has just kind of like left me just kind of, okay, I think I'm ready for it. I don't know what else, like, I don't think there's any other surprises. I think we just get to watch this do cool things for the next couple of battles. So let's go and watch this do cool things for the next couple of battles. Spin the Tyrantrum. Oh, mixing up the order this time. All right, keeping it fresh. I like that. I can respect when that's going to go down. So Tentacruel going to go and set up the barrier. I feel like any kind of Trick Room set, like no one, okay. I think what makes this so good is that no one expects the Trick Room. That whenever you see an Oranguru, you know that. Whenever you see the Porygon 2, you know it. You know the Trick Room is coming, so you have to do everything to stop it. You see the Spinda and a Tyrantrum, you don't even think Spinda swap. You just think, this is a bad player that's trying to throw a Spinda at me, and then you disrespect onto the Tyrantrum or something. Trick Room lands, the Charm goes through, and then stupid things are going to happen. So, Carbink just grabbed Contrary. I mean, the skill swap can pull off some shenanigans if it wants to, so that's something right there. Spinda now has the Rock Slide, though, so we'll still +2 the Rock Slide onto the Tentacruel, doing half its health. Critical hit. Okay, that makes sense. No! Tyrant! Oh, wait, that's beautiful! I was about to say, I saw the clear body. It's like, oh, at least Spinda's stuck with that +2. I hope that I hope the Tyrantum doesn't try to charm. So we mostly lost the turn, but I think the clear body swap was like, that's never going to happen again in Pokemon. Out of the millions of battles, out of the millions of players, out of the tens of millions of players, we are never going to see that happen again. Or, you know, in an unintentional, like, unintentionally. That this has not happened up to this point, and unless you try to recreate it, it's not happening again. I don't think that, yeah, the Charm Tyrantrum into the now clear body skill swap Spinda is just one of the things that can happen. So Carbink setting up the safeguard. I mean, the opponent has a ferocious, filthy defensive line right there. The Reflect, the barrier, the critical hit was actually like the only reason why Tentacruel took any damage. Carbink going to have its thing set up. Tentacruel will go down. Double Rock Slide though could force a flinch. Except Carbink's already really slow, so that's kind of interesting. Then we're going into the Magnezone. So what is the response for the Magnezone? What are the other moves that the Spinda has? Okay, so that is going to be the Shattered Psyche from the Carbink, boosting its defense. So Reflect boosting defense. Crazy, but Reflect's already on the field, so that's not going to do anything. Alright, that's right, we saw the Brick Break. So the Brick Break actually shattering the Reflect, hitting Magnezone super effective. Tyrantrum with the Rock Slide. Is that going to be enough damage through the resist to take down Magnezone? It will be, and Carbink is now left with not too much. And Twisted Dimensions return to normal, but that means Carbink's slow, and Scyther gets bodied by Rock Slide. Scyther has his own Brick Break. Tries to take out the Spinda, but Spinda has a little bit of bulk right there. Scyther's going to avoid the Rock Slide. A little bit unfortunate, but that should still be enough to take out the Carbink. Alright, so Carbink will go down. And then we just get to see what else gets... Oh, no. What's that Z move? It's a Z move on the Spinda. What's the Spinda going to do? Unleashes full Z Force move. Breakneck Blitz. Oh, yeah, it's Retaliate. Never mind. We already saw all of the moves on the Spinda. So, Retaliate, Breakneck Blitz. How does that work? Like, the moves that have a sliding damage scale. I wonder how that Z move, like, applies the damage. Either way, that kind of hurts. Does it, like, calculate? Does it say, oh, this is the base power, so the damage taken then factors into the Z move for an absolute +2 destruction? Like, that's +2 destruction right there. It doesn't matter how low Spinda's attack stat is to begin with. You take a stab Z move at +2, the opponent is going to die right there. So actually, yeah, we already saw. So it's just Rock Slide, Retaliate, Brick Break. And the Spinda covers really well after the Trick Room. And then Tyrantrum. And let's check out another battle, because this is beautiful, guys. I honestly don't know why there's so much Oricorio strats, but hey, it's really fun. Actually, no, I do know why. Because it's fun. I was about to say, I don't know why, but it's fun. No, that's why, because it is fun. I mean, you Dancer, you like snowball style all over your opponent, it gets pretty crazy. So that's going to be different right there. The Oricorio is going to be faster in this situation. That does have its own benefits, because you are putting down the damage first. And you could, like, lead into some situations. But for the most part, you want your Oricorio to be slower. That way, Lilligant Quiver Dances, and then crazy things happen from there as Oricorio chooses to attack or do something else with its now boosted stats. But the hidden power on Tyrantrum will hit pretty well. So now we're just going to see the Charm Tyrantrum. Didn't I mention this in like a video at some point? I was like, by the way, TYRANTRUM also gets Charm, so I guess you could use that if you want to be cheeky. I never imagined the contrary charm to give Spinda an effective Swords Dance as it sets up a Trick Room and then murders everything. So that's going to be a withdrawal for the Lilligant going into Torkoal. Because why not? So Torkoal with the Drought going to bring the Sun. I mean, Torkoal utilizing the Trick Room might be one of the better options, especially after that Quiver Dance setup. So going into the Rock Slide, and then Oricorio will take that super effective hit. Torkoal does take a pretty solid hit as well. And then TYRANTRUM had the Poison Fang for the Lilligant, but the switch probably saving its life and then not doing too much to Torkoal. 50% chance for that Toxic Poison. Toxic Poison lands, and TYRANTRUM unfortunately goes down. So actually seeing, alright, TYRANTRUM's bulky, but it is still pretty vulnerable, especially after the boosting for the Oricorio right there. Oddish. Right. He has not fully evolved Pokemon. Like, why? Portakay, the NFE. And then Oricorio is going to protect. Torkoal has a Flame Wheel. I don't know what the opponent's doing with that Flame Wheel. But it's still going to be enough to take down the Oddish unless Oddish has a Focus Sash. Oh, Oddish does not have a Focus Sash. This battle is just... I don't even know. This battle's a mess. But Oricorio going to be able to protect from that Rock Slide. Torkoal will go down to the damage. And what does Oddish have? Sludge Bomb. I'd expect like Sleep Powder or something silly like that. You know, just lay down the law, put something down, and then we're good to go. But Volcarona now in. All the Quiver Dancing isn't really going to work. Oricorio goes for the double protect, it looks like. But the Rock Slide, that's going to be enough to take down Volcarona. That's 4 times super effective. It doesn't matter that it's a Spinda with split damage. It's at +2, 4 times super effective. So now the opponent's just falling apart. And we get to see what Oddish does. Sleep Powder. Hey, he's got it. He's got it anyways. That's going to be the Lilligant. And Oddish has Sludge Bomb. And then we have Z Retaliate. So it's done. It's done. Alright. Okay, actually I want to look up Z Retaliate while we're at it. So, yep, it's got Breakneck Blitz. Actually, Breakneck Blitz on Bulbapedia will show the Z move breakdown, I imagine. Whoa. Wait, I'm actually really confused. So, wait, I just did Breakneck Blitz instead of the Retaliate. Never mind. Yeah, but we see that is going to be the Dunk right there. And Retaliate actually has a 140 base power. And then stuff. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna have to do a bit more research really quick. 1 second. Okay, so it looks like the Breakneck Blitz always takes like the bottom line or the damage that is expected because it has the original base power. So the way that these moves work is that they have a base power on the Retaliate, and then I was going through like everything for the Breakneck Blitz. So if Retaliate, it becomes 140. That's because Retaliate has a base power of technically 70, and then it doubles once the effect activates. So it doesn't care about that. It only takes the base power on the Z move. I guess that's actually pretty obvious right there. Then we just use the chart 70, 75, 140. But I mean, still 140 base power stab move at +2 on the Spinda. I actually don't remember what Spinda's attack stat is. It's like 70? 60. Okay, so Spinda's one of those even Pokemon, so has all 60s right there, and then just gets enough damage to take out whatever it wants. Oddish probably had that Sludge Bomb follow-up, and that's just going to be enough damage to, like, hit Super and end the battle right there. So, GG, guys. Crazy Fan Fridays. I don't know what to think. Like, the Trick Room, I don't know what should surprise me more. The Trick Room, the Charm, the Shutdown, the winning. It all worked, so awesome. Let's see what we have next for Fan Fridays. Holy crap.